Hello YouTube, it's me Justin, February 3rd, 2018. I was just going through and looking at some of the comments on the video that I had made last night driving home about the singer Pink singing the national anthem. Now when I had heard it on the radio, I wasn't really paying attention. I didn't realize that it was for the Super Bowl. And reading all your comments and replying to them, that makes complete sense why she would be singing at the Super Bowl. I myself don't follow the NFL. I used to. Was a huge Steelers fan. Um, just simply because my cousin who passed away was a huge Steelers fan. But once when Kaepernick started and the rest of them followed in line, it's like the far left. It's just nothing, a bunch of followers as far as I'm concerned. And 90% of the ones that are taking a knee during these national anthems have no clue why they're taking a knee. And it's, you then you see these Little League football teams, and they've got all of them taking a knee for the national anthem. But it's just a disgrace when it comes to um, our government, or not our government, but the patriotic part of America. You know, the many soldiers, men and women, that died fighting for our country and fighting for our freedom, just so you can have that freedom to be a coward and take a knee, so to speak. It's just another slap in the face by the far left. So now, like I said, it makes complete and total sense to me why she, a Donald Trump hater, would be singing the national anthem. I know there's a lot of diehards that, are going to be watching the game. And I'm not going to sit here and preach that it should be boycotted. It's just some people live and breathe football. I personally don't, so I'm not going to miss out on anything. But I'm sure the only time I'm going to watch it is to watch the national anthem. So I just want to thank my subscribers for pointing that part out. I want to go back to the her raising her children gender neutral, and just people in general raising their children to be gender neutral, and how it's such a confusing time as a child, um, growing up, just learning new things and just being a child in itself. Boys, like Walter says, boys playing with trucks and girls playing with dolls, and you have the occasional few children that, girls that want to play with trucks, and little boys that want to play with dolls. But um, this world is such a confusing place right now. It's not like it was years and years ago, and the family values, like I said, are on a steep decline in the attack on Christianity and just simply family values alone. And they don't realize they're doing this for themselves. They're being selfish by putting this ideology on their children. You know, when they go to school, they're going to be picked on. Well, what are you? Well, I'm a walrus. Blah blah blah. I'm a unicorn. It's just simple stuff like that, and I'm sorry, but it's evil. It's just another attack on our children. If you believe in Scripture and you believe in the Bible and you believe in God, this is simply playing out like it's supposed to. In Revelations, end of days. This was 20 years ago. This would not have been tolerated, and far left just attacking. I even saw a article that was written by a far left professor was talking about that we need to minimize the masculinity of the movies, war movies, because it's making men too masculine. What kind of crazy ass sissy crap is that? that actual war movies that tell a story, like American Sniper and other videos that are strictly stories that are turned into movies, and it says we need to tone down the male masculinity. They're trying to dumb down Americans. Obama did that when it came to um, shoot, I can't remember right offhand. I'll think of it in a second. But just even stuff putting into food, there's a term called soy boys. All this soy product, and you can tell who they are when you see them on TV in these women marches. They got soy lattes and everything, and they're extremely feminine because of all that estrogen they're pumping into their body. Is I don't know. It's just like the left. The agenda for the globalist agenda. They want a sissy, weak, submissive country. It's not going to happen. You know, teach your kids to shoot guns, and teach them like my buddy Jason Arrington, and we grew up together when I lived in Tennessee for 6 years. Um, we were always out in the woods, always. We were out camping, fishing, out on the water, swimming. We hated being inside. Now you got to fight just to get a kid to walk outside for 5 minutes to throw a ball around, because they got to go back to that Xbox or that PlayStation, or get back on the tablet. And this is all definitely a well organized plan, and there's so much documentation. But to raise your kids gender neutral, and when I applied for that job, I did that job interview. I actually had to do an application. Me being self-employed for so many years, and then working with my father and my brother in the concrete industry, and there was a place in there that where you state your gender, and there actually was male, female, or other, or would rather not say. And I was shocked, because I've heard about it on TV. It's disgusting, but to actually see it on a document was, reality's here. And then I had to fill out a form that, I wasn't allowed to view my opinions, my political views, and my views on gender equality and stuff like that. And I'm not going to say the company that I'm working with, but the guy that I filled out the application he was just appalled by it as well. But that's what the law says, and that's what you have to abide by now. So I thought it was completely asinine. But you take away that, you raise a boy to be a man, and you raise a woman to be whatever she wants. And this women are held down by men, and men are sexist and misogynist, and this equality. And Pink, the singer, speaks about female equality. That's one of her big things too. And then now she's raising her daughter gender neutral. Well, where does she stand there about gender equality when her kids have no gender? They're gender neutral. So what, such hypocritical, asinine. They don't think ahead. All they do is they're followers. They just want to jump on the bandwagon. Back in the old days, it was cool. Do you smoke cigarettes? No, you're not cool. The cool crowd smokes cigarettes. Well, you see where that got us, years and years later. Emphysema, lung cancer, hacking, coughing, and I'm not sure really where I'm going with this, but I am trying to get to everybody. Just the comments are coming through so fast. But you all made a lot of great, valid points, and with her, Pink, singing the national anthem, like I said, it definitely makes a whole lot of sense to me. So I am definitely going to check that out, because I have a huge feeling that she's going to do something as stupid as like the Grammys, which I didn't watch. I just saw some clips from Ben Shapiro, like I said, on this Me Too movement, and just trashing Donald Trump in general is, it just makes no sense to me. I mean, these people, before Trump even said he was running for president, would kneel to his feet and kiss his feet. These pop stars and these actors. Donald Trump, he's awesome. He's a rich man. He was great until he ran for office. Now it's just so hypocritical of the far left. But this gender neutral stuff is, in Canada where they pass that law, if your child decides at the age of 5 or 6 years old that he wants to be a girl, if you do not take that child to the doctor and put him on hormonal therapy to slow down the hormones or block the hormones, the male testosterone, they can actually physically, by law, come in and take your child away. That is Satan right there. That is Satan's attack on children. That is evil. Try that shit in my house. Come knock on my door and take my son away. If he said that he was going to be a boy, not going to happen. You're going to get pumped full of lead. I'll end up in prison, whatever. But not going to happen. And if people don't know Canada, I feel so sorry for the Canadian people, since this Justin Trudeau freaking idiot, he stole a good name. Justin, that was a good name. Now he's pissing all over it. Pardon my French, but just this microaggression, I could sit there and send out a text or a tweet, which I don't have Twitter, just something negative to somebody, like you're a complete moron, idiot, you freak, boys are boys and girls are girls. Next thing you know, I'm facing 2 years in prison. That's, I don't know. Just check into that. That'll blow your mind. That law over in Canada, that if you were to offend somebody, if a man was dressed up as a woman and said that I am a woman, no, you're not. Biologically, you're not. Even if you cut off your dinker, you're still a man. If you get breast implants, you're still a man. You may believe you're a woman, but in Canada, if I were to go up to somebody and say, no, you are a man, you are not a woman, I can get arrested and face up to 2, possibly 5 years in prison. That's nonsense. And then you can have your children taken away. So, and that's all from the far left. They don't believe in God. I'm not saying all of them, which I don't see how you could believe in God and follow the ideology from the left, because God's laws. If you're a Christian and you're a firm believer that the book is the Bible, the good book, is the Word of God, then all this ideology, it's not godliness. It's satanic. So I don't see how you could be a far left liberal and be a Christian. I just don't see it. You could be a fake Christian. You could be one undercover, a wolf in sheep's clothing. But when it comes down to Christianity, the belief in God, the belief of God, that boys are boys and girls are girls, like I said, raise your boys to be men, and raise your women to, either if their dream is to be a housewife and and love it. There's many millions of women that love being a housewife and a mother, and there's a lot that want to be prosecutors and attorneys. That's all great, but don't sit there and put that mindset into a child and say that you can be whatever you want to be. If you want to be a unicorn, you're a unicorn. If you want to be a horse, you can identify as a horse. That is child abuse. That's mental abuse. It's crazy, and it's selfish of the parents to do that. It's disgusting. So anyways, that's my rant. I'm still getting back to everybody in the comments, and I thank you for all of them. Fear no man, never fear death. Get right with God, fight the good fight, stay locked and loaded. Later.